Hello everyone, my name is Jennifer Stay. This is Coloring Bliss. I have sweet little Rose back here, and I also have my husband and business partner Steve with me.
Hello again.
We'll also be having a guest appearance from my cat Meeshka later in the video. So if you've been curious about how he's doing health-wise, stay tuned to the end and we'll have him on so that you can see him and learn all about what's been going on with Meeshka. Now today we have some fun coloring that we're going to be doing. I haven't colored in a few weeks, so I'm feeling a little nervous about this, but I need to get back on the coloring horse and get some art accomplished. And for that we have a free coloring page. There'll be links to all these coloring pages in the video description if you would like to download them. But I have two for free for everyone to celebrate Halloween with me. So let me show those to you. Alright, this is the page I'm going to be coloring today with you, and I'm excited to try coloring this witch right here. And I have a new product, well, new to me, that we're going to be playing around with. So lots to learn today together, so I'm excited to do this with you. And if you'd like to color with me, make sure you download this. It's free for a limited time. Now we also have this really cute coloring page here that's free for a limited time too. So you can do a witch and maybe this is her house, you think, Steve? So come and get these free downloads. Now if you're part of our paid memberships, then you are going to be excited because we have several new coloring pages here to celebrate Halloween. And they are adorable. Look how cute these are. I love the little mushrooms with the spiders all over. So cute. Here's another adorable ghost with a very cute little owl. So fun. Did I say owl? I meant bat. And then we've got another, look at this. She is just so cute. She's carrying her spell books and she's got bats all around her and a cute little hair clip. Oh, and look at, I didn't even notice she's got like a little candy hanging from her hat. Oh, it's the details are so charming. And here's another little spookier ghost. Ooh, you could do maybe some glow-in-the-dark paint or something like that on him. That would be really fun. Or neons. You could have a tie-dye ghost. That would be cool. Ooh, and now a spooky one, a werewolf underneath the moon. Do you think it's the full moon from the annular eclipse that we just had? Maybe how you could do it like the ring of fire around it, like from the eclipse. That would be really cool. So come and download these pages and celebrate Halloween with us. But today in this video we're going to focus our efforts on this pretty little girl. She's a modern witch, I would call her. Very stylish and modern witch, and she's waiting here maybe at the bus station to catch a ride with her stuff here, and she's going on a magical journey. So we're going to color her together. I have her printed on our watercolor paper. We get asked about our paper all the time, so I'm going to link two things for you to help you out. First off is a video that we created that has a whole bunch of really good information about paper for markers, color pencils, watercolor, the whole thing. And then I'll also have Steve put a link to this actual paper in case you'd like to purchase them. You can either get it through us, or I think they can get some odd size pads, right, on
I'll send
Amazon.
them a link.
So we'll give you some good links so that if you would like to try this watercolor paper, which is amazing paper because it's thinner and it can go through our home printers. Oh, it's so great. So this is the paper I'm going to be working on, and let me show you the tools that I'm going to be coloring with. This is the box that we're going to be playing with, and I need to tell you that we're going to be doing an unboxing of this box here and a full review of these markers in an upcoming video, hopefully next week if I can pull all the information together. I'm really excited to show it to you. This box was sent to me as a gift from Karin, and I want to say thank you very much. But I will let you know that I purchased some of their products beforehand, before I contacted them, and loved these markers. So this is not just a gift. Here you go. Now do some art with it. This was like a dream box of art supplies. So I feel very spoiled that I get to have this box of markers. Want to see inside? Let me show you what it has inside. Look at that. All of these colors. I've even forgotten how many colors there are in this box, which doesn't matter because today we're here to color this little witch. But they have a whole array of neons as well, and I'm really tempted to color that ghost that we showed you in neon tie-dye. That would be really fun. But these are water-based markers, so kind of think Crayola Super Tips. Think Tombow dual brush pens. Those are all water-based markers. When you smell this marker, it doesn't smell really strong of alcohol. That's how you know right off the bat that you don't have an alcohol marker in your hand. You have a water-based marker. And when you have water-based markers, you want to use watercolor paper if you can. If you're using standard cardstock, that's great too. Just know that you're going to probably get a lot more streaks than what you want. And it's a little more difficult to blend these markers on standard paper. That's why I have mine printed on watercolor paper. So I'm going to take just a minute and look through these markers and pick out the colors I want to use on my little witch. Look at all the grays. We could just have her all in gray too, but then she'd just be grayscale. That's not very exciting. That was a bad idea. I'll come up with a good idea and be right back. Now, I am feeling a little unsure with my color picking today because it's been a few weeks since I've done any coloring. So I'm going to turn to our wonderful full color, quick color picker to help me pick my colors as quickly as possible. I have the colors here, and the first thing I'm going to do is kind of look over it and see if there's a color that jumps out at me for our witch. I want it to feel Halloween-y, but she needs to feel modern and a little sassy. And my eyes keep going to purple. I know that's my favorite color and I do purple a lot, but because it has been a little while since I've colored, I think going to my comfort zone is a perfect place to go rather than trying to push myself out of something and do something that I'm not too sure of. So let's go for purple. And I'm feeling not a red violet, but more of a violet type color. So in this book, there's so many resources. I've done full videos on this book. I'll put links to those videos if you want to learn more about how this book can help you pick colors. But what I'm going to do is just flip to the violet page. Okay, so we have a few options. We have blue violet, violet, which is what I think we're going to go for. This is the violet color here. Or we have red violet. And in this set, this box here, I think either of any of those three I pick, I'm going to be fine. I've got all those colors represented. But looking right here, I have a really nice light violet. And it would pair well with this dark violet right here. I think these two would look really good together. And that feels closer to violet than the other two colors to me. So now we have a dominant or mother color. Oh, her skirt would be so cute in violet. Okay, so what do we want to put with it? She's sassy and she's very ready to go out on the town here, so we need something fun. And all of these colors here are violet options, so every single one has violet represented. So do I want to pick 3 colors or 4 colors or 5 colors? She's got a shirt that will need a color, probably do violet for her hat. She's got some pretty fun hair we could do in a fun, fancy color as well. My eyes keep going, I'm a split complementary girl, and my eyes keep going to this one right here. We could have red hair with a yellow-green shirt and violet skirt. I think that would be really cute. So I'm going to grab those colors really quick. Yellow-green, we've got at least one yellow-green. Got kind of a cool olivey color too, but I think I like this bright olive green better. I mean, yellow green. And then for red, let's see if that one looks great. Okay, So here's 4 markers for me to get started. Of course, I can add more colors. I can come back here and reference and see what other colors would look good in this family right here that I've created. But this is a really good place for me to start. So I'm feeling good about that. And I want to just say thank you to the Quick Color Picker for helping me make that decision fast, easy, and stress-free. So another tool I'm going to want to use is a water brush. And these are special brushes that you fill with water, and then when you squeeze them gently in the appropriate place and way, a little bit of water comes out into the bristles and allows you to do some blending. These work so good, especially on watercolor paper. And these are both by Faber-Castell, but there are hundreds of brands out there that make these. You can spend a little bit of money or a lot of money, but a water brush like this is really handy. So this is just a case I use to keep all of my watercolor supplies handy for when I'm traveling. Okay, so I'll have both of these handy. And I think we're going to start with the thing that inspired me, and that is her purple shirt, well, her purple skirt and her purple hat. And it looks like we could probably do purple on her cuffs and maybe purple socks. Oh, she's going to be just so cute. I'm going to want to be in her outfit. So here we have the lightest color. Now, if you're coloring along, this is Pale Violet 247 in the brush markers by Karin, and these are the Brushmarker Pros to be specific. They have a beautiful nib on the end. You can see how much ink is in there through the little window. They're just a really fun marker. So I'm going to start by putting light purple in, and I'm probably going to lighten it up even more with the water brush, because look at how strong that is. That is going on. These colors in this set are so vivid. When I swatched them, I remember just being blown away by how vivid they are. So I'm just doing some nice flick motions to get the first layer of ink down. And it is a wet ink, so as it dries, it will change slightly. As you can see here, this looks a little more red violet than the dried over here, which looks a little more blue violet. I'll have Steve zoom down a little bit and maybe you can see the difference too. I'm going to move this box out of the way so I can function a little better. Okay, a little more flicks going on here. Okay. And now let's try using the water brush. And I need a paper towel to help control the water here. I'm going to grab that from behind me. And I usually squeeze it a bit to make sure there's no residual color from the last time I used it. There was a tiny bit of yellow in there, so it was a really good thing that I cleaned that brush nib here. Now I'm going to get it wet and pull this up. And hopefully we're going to get a really cute gradient. You can hear Rose snoring in the background. Look how when it gets wet, it turns back to that red-violet color. We're going to want to let that sit, and I'm going to grab the darker purple while we're waiting and do the shadows down here where her skirt flares a little bit. And a little shadow here where we have the skirt sort of pleating. Cute. Okay, we need to let this dry now and see if we need to go again, because this is looking really pale and I want it a little bit darker than that. So we'll give it just a second to dry. While it's drying, let's start working on her shirt. And I'm just going to go straight up green here. The best way to color, wow, that was a big snore, Rose. The best way to color with water-based markers is, of course, on watercolor paper, and then you just want to move really slow, and that will prevent streaks and leave you with a nice block of color like that. Okay, and I think I'll leave her collar and her cuffs to be purple like her little skirt, which is starting to dry up really nice here, but it needs more purple up here for sure. Tempted to do something sparkly right there. Kind of looks like it. That was my idea when I added the little dots on there. Now we're going to use the green. This is the same green, and I forgot to give you the color. This is Apple 210. And I'm going to do a second layer just around her waist to kind of make it look a little pinched in. And right here at her elbows. So we're adding streaks on purpose now to darken up those areas. Okay, let that dry now. We need to let things dry. So while that's drying, let's go, let's put a coat of color on her skin while we're waiting. So will you hand me the brush markers, Steve? Mm-hmm. And we will pick a skin color. I almost dropped the box. Sorry, you guys. There are lots of options here. We could go really pale. And go into the darker, more caramel skin colors. We could go really dark. Again, I'm feeling nervous about this coloring page because it's been a while since I've colored. So I think I'm going to stick with my strong suit, which is basically my skin color, a light skin color. And this one's called Blush, kind of like that idea. And this one is called Almond. I wonder which one's lighter. We're going to go for Almond. Oh, I better hold on to Blush anyway so we can do some shading. Thank you. Okay, so Almond. It's Almond number 216. And again, we're going to do like I did for the shirt and just lay in a nice, even, steady block of color, and then we'll come back and we'll work on shading to give her some dimension. Look at those cute socks she's wearing. So cute. Trying to stay away from the purple so we don't pull purple down into her skin. But this back leg is going to want to be darker anyway because it's to the back of her. But we'll play with that here in a minute. Now we'll just block in some color on her hands. Ooh, I'm excited to color her hair. Good. And now her face. I'm going to probably do red for her lips. Avoid her eyes so they stay white. Just carefully block in some color. She's very, almost yellow. Look how it's drying. Almost a yellowy color, so we're going to want to warm that up if I can here with some reds and other colors. Okay, let's go ahead and grab our purples and revisit her skirt because it's nice and dry now. And what I'm going to do is right over here with my light purple, which is color Pale Violet 247, make a little puddle of it. And then using one of my water brushes, which I need to double check this one is clean. Ooh, it had contamination too. Good thing I checked. It's still coming out a little yellow. I'm going to use all the water just to clean the bristles. There, that looks a little better. Okay, so with my wet brush here, water brush, I'm going to pick up some of that color and paint it in there. That's much more what I was picturing. But again, this is using a lot of water, so it's going to change as it dries, so we're going to want to give it a minute to settle in. But that's cute. I like that. Okay, then let's work on her cuffs too using, should we just do, I think we'll just do our darker purple, which is Violet Blue number 688. I love how these pens have the color names so easily seen on the cap like that. So easy to read. Okay. Well, I am tempted to get some, well, you know, we are going to do two colors. I'm going to have both open at the same time and blend them together. Okay, this is a very small area here. Back to the other one, and it's okay if you dip into wet ink with your pen. All you need to do is scribble it off, and the new color you put on it will come right off, and it'll go back to the right ink color. And we can pick that up and use that. Maybe we'll use it in her hat or in her socks. Okay, we need to let things dry again. Ooh, I should have done her collar too. Let's do the light purple on her collar. What do you think, Steve? Is she looking sassy?
Oh, yeah.
Her yellow legs are bugging me. We're going to have to fix that. Okay, let's work on her hair next, because I just really want to see that red hair come in here. And I'm not going to do anything too fancy. Just try not to get it on her skin. And color it all the way down like that, right over the black ink lines. Cute. So now we're seeing the whole color scheme coming together here that we picked using that quick color picker. Follow it all the way down so it has a hint of red. Cute. Do a few more strokes down in here to give it darker color right up next to her face. Cute.
When you're coloring hair like that, are you intentionally following like the swoops and the lines of the hair so that if it streaks, it looks intentional?
Yeah, exactly right. So instead of coloring the hair this direction, which would leave streaks that would catch the eye and it wouldn't look correctly. It wouldn't look correct. So instead I'm coloring it with the grain of the hair. So if any streaks, like Steve said, happen, they will look like they're just part of the hair. But because we're on watercolor paper, we're not having too much of a trouble. What we are seeing here is I didn't let that green dry enough. Can you see at the tips of her hair how it's starting to sort of spread and bleed out? That's because the green wasn't 100% dry before I came on with the red. But from afar, you can't tell. So just hold it up like this when you show people. And they'll never see. Okay. Her skirt, I kind of love it, but there's things about it I'm not liking. And I wonder if I just add, I'm using Pale Violet 247 to do some more intentional streaks. Oh, that's better. See how it's making it, the transition between our light violet and our dark violet looks more intentional. And then let's grab that dark violet, Violet Blue 688, and do the same thing down here. So we'll have hopefully a really nice gradient.
When I've seen you use watercolor paper in the past with, water-based markers, it seems like you haven't had as prominent streaks as what I'm seeing on this one. Like, do you know why this one seems a little more streaky?
So far, the places I see the streakiness is where I used the water marker, the water brush. Sorry, I keep calling it a water marker, but it's a water brush. I think that's why we're getting streaks, because if you look at her skin, it's perfectly smooth. There's no streaks happening there at all. So I'm wondering if it's the addition of the water. So let's put that to the test and see if we can create a gradient up here on her hat. We won't use the water marker, and we'll just try to go from dark to light, because that's how the skirt is. Or should we flip it, Steve, and do dark here and go to light there?
That would make more sense.
Let's do that. Yeah, we'll start with dark here. I'll have both of my purple markers ready so that I can color with them.
I wondered too if you have to move just a little faster so that the ink doesn't dry. I know you do that with alcohol markers, right?
Yep. Okay, now let's go to the lighter. And Steve, will you look in the box and see if they have a colorless blender in there? I think there might be 2 in there.
Yep.
Okay, this is their blender pencil or marker. I'm going to use that instead of the water brush.
You bring it down a little more.
Okay, I'm not going to fiddle with it anymore. I did like 3 or 4 swishes with the blender pen, and that pulled enough color up that I'm feeling pretty good about that. And then with the tip, the nib has purple on it now, and I don't want to contaminate the next color I use it with, so I'm just going to touch it off until it streaks clear. If it stays a little stained, that's a good word, it doesn't matter as long as the ink is coming out clear. That's all that really matters. So staining's normal on your blenders. Okay, what do you think of the difference between the hat and the skirt where we tried using a water brush?
It's a lot better.
Yeah. So that blender pen is really great.
So if you wanted to fix the skirt, could you put some more ink on right now and then use the blender pen?
No, I would, because if you put your fingers over it, you can feel that the paper is starting to...
it's like getting saturated. Yeah. It sounds like it's making its way through the sizing.
Yeah, so watercolor paper is special because it's been treated with a product called sizing. It goes on the surface and sometimes into the fibers of the paper as well. And what it does is it helps the paint and the water kind of float on the surface. But after you've manipulated that with a brush or with a marker in our case, sometimes that sizing starts to wash away and you get down to normal fibers of paper. Now, you know what happens when you get water on normal fibers, they swell up and they cause rippling, and it can even ball up like little pilling, like on a sweater. That's what happens to regular paper. So with a paper like this, which is a lower quality watercolor paper and a very thin watercolor paper, you don't have a lot of sizing to work with. Hopefully that makes sense.
At least you have some.
Yeah, but what
is better than nothing.
What I think we'll do is we'll add maybe some glitter gel pen on it and do some little stippling on it, and that will help distract the eye from too much streaking. The streaking's not bugging me. It kind of looks like velvet to me. It looks like a velvet fabric, so I'm okay with it. But I like the hat way better. I think that turned out really good, and it definitely needs some bling on those little ellipses around her hat and around her waist there. We definitely need bling. Okay, so let's work on her skin and her lips, but the lips we need to do last. We need to make sure it's super, super dry so we don't have bleeding like what happened with the green here where the red bled out a little bit. So I'm going to grab, we tried, was it almond we tried? Yeah, and I'm thinking blush is a little bit of a darker skin tone. We'll start with her back leg because I know I want that to be darker. So it's natural to start there with our shading tone. And that's helping a lot.
Yeah, doesn't look like she has jaundice.
Yeah.
Hepatitis.
Or some sort of tights that make her skin just, and we'll do a little bit of shading right under the hem of her skirt. Be really careful not to get any of that purple involved. And maybe a little shading under her knee. And a little shading at the edge of the sock. And if you want, you can grab your first color and blend it out a little more, like that. Maybe a little blending here, but it's looking pretty good, those two colors together. That looks much better. Okay, then we'll do the same thing here at her cuff. Add a little shading. We're not really worrying about a specific light source. We're just more going for some basic three-dimensional shading here. Okay, maybe blend that out a little bit so she looks smooth. And a little under the rim of her hat.
With her arm, her right arm needs blending.
Well, it does stop right at her bracelet.
I meant her other arm. Her right one.
Oh,
her
that's
right.
the right one, but yeah. You're right, this one needs it too. That's looking better. A little bit right here next to her hair. Okay, we need that to super duper duper dry now before we mess with it anymore. So let's do her feet while we're waiting for that to dry. And Steve, what do you think? Green socks, purple shoes, or purple socks, green shoes?
Oh. I would do purple socks, green shoes.
Purple socks. Okay.
Yes.
You're the style guru.
Oh man, that's a joke.
I'm not joking. He's the most stylish.
She's joking.
I'm just going to do
more stylish.
Well, the problem is we have nowhere to go to be stylish. We're either on camera or at home just chilling in sweats.
I know I have a film festival I'm going to in a week, and had to ask my friends and my brother, what do I do to at least look okay? Because they have like this red carpet thing, and it's for a short film that I made.
Uh-huh.
I'm supposed to...
You have to walk the red carpet?
Yeah.
What are you going to wear?
Fun. I don't know.
You haven't figured it out yet?
I was telling them, I need your help. Make me look a little better.
Okay, let's add a little bit of shading here on the... Let's see. Let's do it back here with the darker purple. And maybe under the fold of her socks. And now that I'm looking at this, I don't know any girl that would wear this thick of socks with shoes like this. I'm not very stylish either. And now I'm looking at her skirt, and I want to fix the very edge here. It's not very dark, and that's supposed to be our darkest moment. We could add black to darken it up even more. but I think that would just introduce another problem. I am tempted to use a little black in the little shadow of her skirt there, but we'll see. That's looking better. Looking better. Okay, down to these purple socks. I think I like the way they look, but they need to dry too.
Probably under the buckle a little bit.
Under the, oh, a little shading. We need to get you in here. You've got all these ideas.
No, I'm a better shading or coloring manager.
Or a backseat colorist.
Yeah.
That's what we should call you, the backseat colorist. Blend that down. Rose is doing really good. As you can see, she hasn't had her hair groomed in a long time, so she is super fluffy right now. She's just a little cotton ball. Hey, Rose. Can't even see her. There you are. Hi. You're a good girl. Do you need a treat? Yeah? While we're letting our colors dry here, I can give you a treat. I'm excited to bring Meeshka up here for you guys to see him. Oh, there you go. Good girl. Okay. Now that you've had your treat, why don't you settle down, okay? Settle in and lay down. Oh, really? That was a big sigh. Okay, let me show you what I'm seeing as her face is drying. There's one pretty strong streak there on the left that's bugging me. I think I'm going to try using the colorless blender to get rid of that. That way I'm not introducing any new color, I'm just blending out streak. Okay, that's better, don't you think?
Yeah.
Okay, that worked good. All right, back to her shoes. Are they dry enough? I don't know. I don't know. I thought that was dry enough. Let's go for it. Green shoes, here we go. I'm not going to do anything too fancy here. Just lay in the green. And we might bring in something sparkly here at the end. Karin has a line of gel pens that I have shown on this channel. I think we even gave away a set that are really fun to play with. So maybe I'll bring those in here at the end. There, those are looking good. And hopefully we won't have any bleeding as it settles into the fibers of the paper.
I could have done the socks red too. That would have been cute.
Oh, red socks. Darn it. Oh well. It's too late now. Okay, let's add, well, what we could do if we were going to color more is make her bag red. And we could do some red here too, but then it would look like her broom was made of her hair. That's not what I'm going for. Okay, but we are going to go in with the lips now. And we need a color for her eyes. Maybe green eyes? What do you think? What would you do? All I know is I don't want this to bleed. So I'm going to go really slow with the very tip of this marker, which lets me get really perfect lines. Ooh, cute. Cute. I love the tips of these markers. They are fantastically fine, and you can get tiny little details using them. Okay, and I don't think it's bleeding. Knock on wood. Now her eyes, I think we should go green. Same deal, use the very tip of the marker. And carefully lay that in. Okay. Well, I'm feeling good about her. But she needs some bling. So I'm going to bring out my the Star Sparkle set. This one right here. The packaging that Karin uses is a lot of fun. It's got its problems though, but it's a lot of fun. I'll show you one of the problems right now when you open up this box. And it didn't happen. Usually when I open up these boxes, there's several that have fallen loose in here. So I think when I contacted Karin about that, they said they were going to be fixing their packaging so that it held it a little bit snugger in each little slot. Okay, we just need some fun bling now. A dark purple would be really pretty. Do we have a nice dark? We have a nice dark green that we can use on our shoes. It was more of a red violet, but oh, this one maybe? Let's do this one. And do we want to put green in, red in her hair too? I think we do. Mm-hmm. Okay, so I've got our 3 colors again. Let's hand that to Steve. Okay, let's start with green because I just need to do her shoes green. They just have to be green. Green sparkles. So I'm going to just smear. Do you see how I did that? Lay down the wet ink and then with my finger really carefully smear it. And that leaves a highlight on the edge of the shoe. And then we've got the sparkle. Let me move it in the light so you can see the sparkle hopefully. There.
Oh, that's fun.
Really cute. And then let's do the buckle. And I'll do it just full strength ink so it will show up well as it dries next to that. Love it. Already love it. Let's see if I can get the sparkle to sparkle. Okay, we'll move it in the light some more once we get more done here. But her buttons need to be sparkly. Good. Now let's see what this purple's going to look like. Is it even going to show up? I know it will here. What I want to do is stipple. So we'll do more solid purple up at her waistline and then let it become not as solid. Words are eluding me. Creating a gradient is what we're doing here.
Using space, I guess, right?
Using
density. What's that called?
Yeah. This is called stippling, or there's lots of names for this type of art. Okay, let's do her little charms, which now they're just going to look almost black until the light hits them, but I'm okay with that. The charm on her bracelet too. Charms up here. And let's do some stippling right in here too.
Could have done the charms red.
Wow, you really are being a backseat driver here. Backseat colorist. Oh, I think she has buttons on her cuff too. I almost forgot that. Hard to see with the dark violet. Cute. Okay, red. Let's do a few red streaks. I don't want her whole hair to be glittery. I want to have contrast. So contrast is an art term. And it basically means that there's something next to something that has enough difference that it stands out. So it could be texture, like we added the dots. It could be color. There's really good contrast between the red and the green. It can be matte versus sparkly, which is what I'm going for here, is just a few sparkly strands of hair. Maybe she has magical hair, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I think her lips need to be a little sparkly too, so I'm going to dot a little bit onto there too. Ooh, should we put some in her eyes?
Oh, yeah.
A little green in her eye. Careful. Very careful. It's going to be like one dot. One dot. That's all it needed.
Oh, yeah, it's like a little catch line or something.
Yeah. Okay, let's zoom back a little bit, and I will move this in the light. I must say I feel much better now having my first coloring after a few weeks break done. I feel good about it. I feel like there were things I could have done better, but I feel like she's really cute. She'd be so cute with all the background and everything done, but we don't have time for that today in this video. Can you see the sparkles? If I go this direction sometimes. Nope. There you go. I love the hair.
Yeah,
I
that's
love
cool.
the hair. Very cute.
I like the sparkles and the stippling on the waist of the
Yeah,
skirt.
me too.
That's cool.
Let's see if you can see it in this direction too. When I first picked it up, you could really see it, but the stippling on her skirt's really showing up.
That's pretty.
Really cool. Okay, so that was me coloring for the first time in several weeks and having fun with a little Halloween coloring. I hope you enjoyed watching me struggle through this and have Steve on the back giving his tips and ideas too. That was really helpful.
Like Meeshka. I learned that from Meeshka.
Oh.
Our cat Meeshka is the manager.
Uh-huh.
Around here, right?
That's right. He supervises
Our
everything that goes on.
Our adult kids live in a basement apartment, and he goes down every once in a while, and so they say he's the manager coming down to inspect.
Yeah, that's definitely our cat. Now, speaking of our cat, I'm going to go get him now, and we'll talk a little bit about what's been going on with Meeshka. All right, here is our sweet Meeshka. He is how old now, Steve?
14.
14 years old. He was throwing up a lot more than normal and acting really sick about a week and a half ago. So we took him into the emergency vet, and they did an ultrasound, so he has a cute little bare belly. Let's see if I can show you his bare belly. Nope. Anyway, so they did some testing, blood work, and all kinds of things to see what was going on. And they decided he had which kind of cancer? Lymphoma cancer, and he's got a mass on his intestine and a few other issues. And the doctor there was of the opinion that he would probably need to be put down right away. And that was shocking and upsetting to us. So what we ended up doing, I think he's going to bite me. What we ended up doing is putting him on some medication and bringing him home because we wanted a little time to say goodbye to him. But the medication, he has responded amazingly to the medication. And so he's not healed. He's still sick, but he's having a much better quality of life now because he's on this medication. I think it's a steroid. And we're just going to we've decided he's sort of on hospice because he's an old man who's very sick, but right now he's comfortable. So we'll just keep him on our comfort care is what we're doing, a hospice comfort care for him. And my son has been spending extra time with him. He's been getting all the food he wants. He's been getting long nighttime walks, which he adores, all the things that makes him happy we've been doing for him. And so I want to say an extra special thank you to all of you. Last week when we sent out our email and let you know about what was going on with Meeshka, we got such a flood back from all of you with emails and comments on our Facebook page and people reaching out via Messenger. There was just so many people who wanted to tell us that they were worrying for us, praying for us, and understood what we were going through. So I want to say thank you to our community. You're such an amazing group of people, and we feel so blessed to have you in our lives. Thank you so much. And we'll keep you up to date with Meeshka and how he does. But like I said, most likely he will be passing away relatively soon. But right now he's a happy boy and he's just having a great life. So we'll keep that up.
Maybe he'll surprise us.
Yeah, maybe he'll last a lot longer. We don't know. but it's all in God's hands, and we are so grateful for him for helping us with Meeshka and making the decision to wait just a little longer and see if the medicine would help. And thank you again for all of you being such a great community. Don't forget to follow the links in the video description to get those free Halloween pages. And we're so grateful for all of your support, and I hope you all have a wonderful, colorful, blissful day. Bye-bye, everyone. There's fur everywhere now. Meeshka fur just flying in the air.